what visas are available if you want to relocate. So Jan, did you want to start with this one?
Of course. So it's important to say that Switzerland operates both a visa system and a residence permit system. So if I'll start with the visa system, visas are only required in a certain set of circumstances and for a certain citizens from certain countries. So, for example, if you are a European Union citizen that wants to come to Switzerland for up to 90 days, you don't need a visa and you don't need a residence permit. However, if you are a citizen from a third country, the majority of third countries, you will need to apply for a visa before you apply for residence. In addition, if you are looking to work in Switzerland for up to 90 days, then again, a business visa can apply if you are not a citizen of the EU or the EFTA. With that said, moving on to residence permits, you'll notice that I will do this a lot. It really does depend on your nationality, how easy it is to apply for residence. So everyone who wants to stay for longer than 90 days needs to apply for a Swiss residence permit. Now, if you are a citizen of the EU and EFTA, I mentioned this briefly previously, you are able to apply for residence fairly easily. The residence permit that you apply for is tied to where you live, so not only your local council, Gemeinde, town, but also your canton. So you have to apply for the residence permit at the cantonal migrations office. Residence permits for EU and EFTA citizens are usually valid for up between 1 and 5 years. If you are looking for work, as I said, they will usually be valid for around a year. But if you come to Switzerland as an EU citizen and you already have a job, you will be claiming what's called a B permit, which is valid for 5 years. That's the first one you should receive if you have work. It also applies to freelancers. So we'll get into the specifics of applying to be a freelancer in Switzerland a little later, but this also applies to freelancing as an EU and EFTA citizen. Moving on to third country nationals. So third country nationals must have a job before applying for a residence permit. This is very strict on the employer, as I said, and for your part, you will have to prove that you are highly competent in the field. You are certified in the language that you are going to operate in. So if that's German, you need to prove that you speak an adequate standard of German. And depending on the canton, you also have to prove other things like whether you have any overseas debt, for example, or even have a criminal record. So that really says that in terms of third country nationals coming to work in Switzerland, you really have to be highly competent and skilled in what you do to get your foot in the door. But once you do get your foot in, you will be given a residence permit. But unfortunately, these are usually only valid for 1 year at first before you have to reapply again. So as I say, there are visas for people who want to spend 90 days or less in Switzerland, but any more than that, you have to apply for residence.